And for those of you that are young and young at heart, I'm going to invite you now to be amazed by a story. So please come forward, young and young at heart. Please come forward. I have a story for you. You're going to be amazed by this story, I promise. If you're on the edge of being young, come forward. Daniela. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say your name out loud? I'm not supposed to do that. My husband keeps telling me, don't call people out loud. Oh, wait, I just did by telling him that about you. Oh, whatever. All right. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we need some walking music. Oh. All right. Well, this is a story about two friends. And these two friends, who I think are actually on our stage right now, were named Isaac and Rose. Now, Isaac and Rose, you can imagine Roses can't play the piano and be Rose, so imagine some little playful music happening here. Rose and Isaac were really good friends. They spent all their time together. They were neighbors, and every day they were out and they played games, and they spent a lot of time outside. And one fall day, they were running around so much they got tired. They saw a beautiful apple tree, and they were like, we're going to go sit down by the apple tree. So they go and they sit down by the apple tree, and they sit quietly. Now, by this time, Rose and Isaac, they were starting to get a little older. They look a little old for their age, but they were starting to get a little older, and they were starting to have thoughts about, wonder what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So they both were kind of silent and fell into thought, and guess what happened? An amazing thing happened. As they were sitting there, all of a sudden, an apple dropped right into Isaac's lap. He was amazed. And then the amazement kept happening as another apple dropped and did not hit Rose on the head, and she too was amazed that it didn't hit her on the head. So they both looked in amazement. Isaac thought, I wonder why this apple fell straight into my lap. Why didn't it fall in from the side? Why do apples fall down anyway? Why don't they fall up? He was amazed. Rose, too, meanwhile, she was amazed. She said to Isaac, Isaac, at the exact time this apple fell, I was wondering what to do with my life. This apple is a sign from God. So, Isaac looked at Rose and said, you're right, it is a sign. I know too what I want to do. On 3, let's both say it together now. They thought they were going to say the same thing, do you think? They did. So together they said, 1, 2, and this is what they're going to yell out, what the message was for them. 1, 2, 3. What? Isaac looked at Rose. Rose looked at Isaac. What did you say? Wait. The apple, Isaac said, the apple is so awesome. I want to know more about it. I want to know why it fell down straight instead of up. Rose looked at him and said, well, just because it did. She said, I don't care about that. This apple was a sign from God for me to live a life of service and give to other people. I'm going to become a nun. And now it was Isaac's turn to wonder. Isaac looked at Rose and said, why would you do that? Am I allowed to say stupid, parents? That's stupid. And Rose said, no, you're stupid. And then Isaac said, no, you're stupid. And back and forth and back and forth and back and forth they went until they both stood up and walked the other way. That was the first time Rose and Isaac had ever fought in their whole lives. And in fact, it was such a big fight, they did not see each other for many, many years. Soon Isaac began to immerse himself in books and reading and studying and doing experiments. And eventually, Isaac, whose last name happened to be Newton, discovered gravity. Well, he didn't discover gravity. Anyway, gravity was always there. It wasn't like he came up with it. But anyway, he figures out the thing about gravity, and he becomes famous, and he makes all kinds of impact into the world. Yay! At the same time, Rose goes off to the convent and she prays and she meditates and she becomes a nun and she does great work in the world and feeds many people apples and other things, and she changes the world with her love. Ooh, yay. Well, one day after many years, they got to be a little old, and Isaac came back to the field where he had played as a kid. And he was tired, and he found that same old tree, and he sat down beside the tree. And he said to the tree, he looked at the tree in amazement, in a way he had never really looked at it before. And he said, after all these years, I have to admit, you are still a mystery to me. Sitting next to you, I feel connected to the universe in a way I just can't explain, that I've never been able to write a formula for or a calculation for. It makes me wonder. It puts me in a place of awe. I guess old Rosie was right after all. Now, it turns out that Rosie had been wandered into the field that day herself and was sitting on the other side of the tree, but Isaac didn't see her. Pretend she's on the whole other side of the tree. So imagine Isaac's surprise when he spoke out loud and then he heard a response. That's right, Isaac. It's all about awe and wonder. Isaac jumped up. God, is that you? And Rosie laughed. It's just me, Isaac, she said as she peeked around the tree. She said, I decided I wanted to study more about trees. They're so fascinating. What makes them grow? What makes these apples fall? So I came here to see how this tree was doing. And the two friends began to laugh at each other. Something tells me we have a lot to teach each other after all these years, said Isaac. Yes, we do, says Rose. And they went off, and that is exactly what they did. Yay!